new episode of the Benchmarks, and today we're taking a deep dive onto Griffin. So let's start up with Chovy, with the mid laner of the team. So Chovy is an incredible lane dominator with a fairly good map control. It's not incredible, but it is really okay and really decent. But he lacks all the game implication. He's not moving a lot out of this lane. Uh, he has still a very good economy, which means he's able to get ahead of his opponent, and that's really good. Uh, when he roams, which is like kinda rare as I said, it is more in the top side when he's playing picks that are needing to roam, but still is roaming way less than other top tier mid laner, such as Gaps for example, and is mostly dominating his lane, which can be a problem for other teams. So now we'll move on to Doran, which is a bruiser player for the team. So he has very good fighting skills. He lacks a bit of vision control, but it is still okay. And like, it doesn't move a lot from the lane. Like the 5.9% we can see are probably like some teleports, but on the blue side he never moved. And so Doran is paired with Sword, but Sword has a different playstyle, and Sword plays split pusher almost essentially. So they are forming a great duo. To like the champions pool are completing themselves, but it is always kind of expectable. Like when you see Sword starting in the game, you know that they will play a split pusher in the top side, and when they play with Doran, you know that they will play with a bruisers, like almost every other top laner. They are both really good, but the fact that they are expectable is an issue. Now let's move on to Lehans. So Lehans played a lot of Enchanters this season with 7 Luxes and 6 Yumis, and he has a really good record on them with a very good fighting skills. His map control is a bit low, but it is still okay. He gets more gold than his opponents, and he roams all over the map. He roams more than its mid laner when he has no pick able to really do that. So it is really impressive to see the rhythm Lehans puts into games. We can see also on roamers, like this is a bit of paradox, because when he has pick that is able to roam, it doesn't really do it. But we can also see that he mostly played Tahm Kench, and Tahm Kench is also supposed to stay alongside his AD carry. So it is a bit sad, but he doesn't offer way much ultimate with its Tahm Kench to rotate and to help other lanes, which is probably a bit sad, but also understandable. So that's Sword, and now let's move on to Tarzan. So Tarzan is a playmaker who can adapt his playstyle to his pick, make plays on early jungler, and control the map with tanks. And he can be unexpectable, and he has a very clean KDA, which means he has excellent fighting skills. So we can see that on bruisers he tends to put really good rhythm onto the game. So he has 2 more implications before 15 minutes, which is above average in Korea. Like, it's not the European style, but it's still kind of good. And he has a very good situation recognition, like he's having a very clean KDA for a jungler, and a good economic input. And on tanks, like he ganks like as much as on bruisers, but he's still doing really great, and he's even better at controlling the map and to really lock on the game and to snowball it, and he has a really good record on Sejuani, so be careful of Tarzan. And to end up, we'll end up with Viper. So Viper played a lot of Ezreal this season, and he has a really good record on Ezreal with a very clean KDA, kinda good map control, and a very good gold input. Like, his gold input is really incredible on Ezreal. And he's not getting much attention. Like, we can see that on right side he has 1 implication per game before 15 minutes, which is not a lot. On blue side, he's a bit more played around. Like, we can see that they dived a lot, like about 40% of the implications are dives, which is really good and a bit particular for to play. It's a bit particular to play around on Ezreal, but they can do it. And his more iconic game style is on hyper carries, so he is an excellent Kai'Sa player, even though his win rate record doesn't really show it on Kai'Sa, but he has like always very decent fighting skills, a pretty clean KDA, and decent map control, not incredible but still decent, and he has an enormous cold input. Like 447 is a lot on hypercarries. We can see that he farms almost more on hypercarries than on Ezreal, and Ezreal is played with Klepto, which means he gets more gold, and he is almost dying that with his, like, it's incredible. Like, on the lane, I believe Viper and Lions are almost unbeatable today. So, to conclude, Griffin, there is a lot to say about this team. So they mostly rely on playmaking to win their game. Like, they need to have some punishing moves where they can snowball the game, and they need to play on errors from the enemy team. But they also have the playstyle to provoke those mistakes with really decent and good vision control, and with high pressuring lanes, which means they can punish the junglers and they can punish any attempt of the enemy team to do something to change the pace of the game. But this is also a big problem, because this playstyle means that you can choke way more easily, and we saw it at the last LCK finals. They played they played 3 times in the LCK finals, and they lost 3 times, and like they looked vanished. Like, they looked like they couldn't play the game anymore, which was like really sad, because I think this team has a very high potential, and I hope they will do well. But if there is a team to choke, I think this will be like for sure Griffin, and I really hope they won't. I hope they will get out of group and eliminate Cloud9. But yeah, I think they can choke, and this is like if there is an upset, I think it is Cloud9 getting out of group and eliminating Griffin, which is a high possibility. So that's the end for today, and I will see you in the next episode of the benchmarks. Just everyone.